Since September 2023, Google began to roll out what it called a helpful content update that is likely to have a significant impact on companies' marketing efforts and strategies. The ITAD sector may be affected by this move. It will not be immune because unless marketing executives in these companies take notice of what matters and adjust accordingly, their ability to reach an outside audience, market their brand, market their products, educate their customers, and grow will be highly compromised. How important is the new helpful content update? Well, consider what happened in the news publishing business, just as an example. UK's Press Gazette said that of 70 leading news publishers in the UK, all but 15 saw falls in their visibility score. Of those, almost half, 33 of them, saw declines in double digits. One major site, for example, the BBC News, lost 37% of its search visibility in just 6 weeks, according to Press Gazette. Now, the implications are many, in particular with companies seeing their revenues drop accordingly. The move is reportedly one of Google's most significant core algorithms modifications to date. What Google does now is to be more selective by eliminating content it considers low quality, in particular the ones generated with the help of AI. The company says the March update was to, and I'm quoting here, to fight spam and low quality content on search and to reduce content created for search engines on search, end of quote. To find out more about these issues, I've added a discussion I had with Paul Hermanson at the end of my talk. Paul heads our premium marketing services and is a fantastic resource on that. So, in all of this, what are the consequences for ITAD companies specifically? Many would argue that ITAD companies' online platforms are not as important as we may think due to the low traffic level they generate. Now, to a certain extent, I don't disagree with that. It is true. In April 2024, the top 29 pure-play ITAD companies attracted no more than 120,000 visitors. Compare the 120,000 visitors of the top ITADs to data security firm Blanco's 203,000, or compare to Iron Mountain's 343,000. Well, both of these companies are also in the ITAD business, but ITAD is not core to them. However, in a world where information is exclusively gathered and shared digitally, a good and intelligent ITAD presence online is extremely important. It's important for big companies and for the hundreds of small ITADs that operate locally and regionally to ensure that their digital presence is top-notch. Still, in Google's latest core update, the hardest hit sites are those of local and regional reach. Now, as we at Compliance Standards launch our advanced marketing services for ITADs, here are a few things I personally learned during the discovery process and what it means for any company to be successful on the marketing front. In approaching your marketing strategy as it relates to the digital world, by the way, digital marketing and social media are the only words that matter in marketing these days. We found that companies have to be mindful of 3 areas that Google is taking very seriously, and so should you. Let me summarize those and then I'll get into more details in a minute. First are the technical aspects of your digital platforms, and in this case, think of your website, for example. Your website must be designed to adhere to the latest technical requirements that Google essentially imposes on business. 2, then there is the content, and that must be quality and unique content. If it is rehashed content that the ITAD industry is used to, like we are the best in data security, Google will very quickly identify that content as not useful with no differentiation with your competitors. The third area comprises of persistence, sustainability, and continuity. If your marketing campaign is a once-in-a-while press release or an article on how your data security practice is the best, that will not do it. That will not be enough when we know that customer attention span is low and competition for eyes and ears is intense. Google will know that and will put you on the side. Before I get into additional details on these tracks, let me take real examples of what ITAD companies are doing from a marketing perspective today. I will not name the companies that I'm going to be talking about, although if you are a client, you will see their real name on our ITAD Market Pulse service. ITAD Company A. Well, in April 2024, Company A had 36,000 visitors. If we don't know the industry, we might think, well, this is a healthy number, except when you realize that nearly 74%, 3 out of 4, 74% of its visitors used a smartphone to get into their website. Now, of course, one welcomes the mobile-friendly design of their site, but mobile visitors are not in an environment where they can spend a lot of time. In fact, visitors to Company A checked on average a little more than one page. They did not last more than 2 minutes. And even more alarmingly, the bounce rate is nearly 96%. This means almost everyone read only one page before they left the website. The question then is, why is Company A attracting a relatively decent number of visitors? Well, this is largely because its site is one of the best in ITAD from a design perspective. Its site's health is rated 91%. Compare that to the top 10 global website rating 92%. So a nicely designed platform with mobile-friendly considerations are definitely attractive features of marketing, but that is absolutely insufficient to create loyalty and conversion. Loyalty, you keep the interest coming. Conversion, you turn them into customers. So having a lot of visitors that leave your site immediately is a bad sign. There's also the possibility that the company is using what's called clickbait and other techniques that Google is cracking down on. These techniques are generally unethical, but at least considered as useless for visitors. And while they may end up getting you a decent number of visitors, their presence on your site means nothing for the fundamentals of your business. That is to generate interest and transform that interest into business. Now, take Company B, which is in the data erasure business and which managed a better traffic of more than 200,000 visitors. Unlike Company A, Company B showed more than 93% of its visitors coming from a desktop world and less than 7% from a mobile platform. Because of that, you would expect the visitor who is in front of his computer to browse content in an environment conducive to research and learning. And the statistics coming directly from Google do not lie. Visitors to Company B read more than 8 pages, stayed a stunning 23 minutes, and the bounce rate was an incredible 13.24%. Only 13% of those who visited ended up leaving the site after they read one page. This means that the vast majority of visitors moved from page to page. So what's interesting in this case is that Company B does not have as a healthy site as Company A, which are rated 75% and 91% respectively. But the content is what made Company B a lot more attractive. Company A only made one announcement in April and managed to release 14 tweets only. And these tweets are probably not as relevant for users as the company thinks. Company B's online platform features content that spans from research studies and white papers to solutions briefs, technical articles, ebooks, videos, etc., hence imposing itself as a thought leader. Now, these educational and informational contents are what drive both visitors' interest and the time they spend on the website, hence creating opportunities to convert visitors into leads and eventually into clients in the long term. So how does one get there? Well, first is platform design, which should enhance user experience, not only with a nice interface, but also with ease of navigation, page speed, and mobile friendliness. In today's automated site design services, probably most new digital platforms out there are optimized for the best user experience from a design perspective. Then comes the more technical aspects, keyword optimization with keyword research, on-page SEO for the proper placement of keywords, etc. Also technical is SEO and search engine optimization that would include tasks that enhance crawlability. This is to ensure that search engines can easily find, crawl, accept, and index your site. Then there are things like backlinks, which are quality links from reputable and relevant sites that are connected to your online property. In the same context, our experts insist that local SEO, search engine optimization, is important if your company has relationships and conduct business at the local or regional levels. While many ITAD companies have a nationwide or even international reach, success starts with strengthening your local markets. You may have a facility in Georgia, another in Southern California. Some of your most loyal clients are local in nature. Local governments, school districts, medium-sized businesses, and even the branches of large corporations, such as bank branches and manufacturing sites. Having a local approach to marketing should be considered important to achieve. And in this case, ensuring that you comply with the optimization of GMB, which stands for Google My Business, and its requirements will help you boost your profile for local search. Secondly, it's about content, and most importantly, about quality and unique content. This is because if you have a great online platform but poor quality content, or no content, as as we saw with company A, search engines will eventually penalize you. They will find out and they will set you aside because there is no reason for them to take visitors to a site where there is nothing new or relevant, and you do not want that. So we at Compliance Standards have what it takes to help you with unique content that, by the way, you will not find anywhere else. We have the resources and skills to not only ensure your platform is ready to market your company in the most effective and efficient ways, but we also have the resources to create content that will enhance your position as a thought leader and have the tools to remain competitive. This content can be leveraged not just for online marketing, but also for your social media strategy. Our experts say the ITAD companies have not been as active as they should be in social media. They argue that even consumer-centric platforms such as Facebook must be targeted for the indirect positive implications that will have on your marketing strategy. Now, Compliance Standard has spent a last decade collecting data on user behavior. We know what banks, financial institutions, healthcare organizations, retailers, government agencies, school districts, and many other verticals are doing relative to their ITAM and ITAD operations. We know their pain points, what excites them and what challenges them, where they learn about ITAD, how they buy, data that can turn into excellent peer benchmarks, white papers, audio podcasts, webinars, tweets, shorts, and more, where your knowledge as an ITAD vendor is in full display. We customize content that lines up with your corporate objectives and strategy, but more importantly, we produce content that is relevant to your target audience, providing valuable information that meets their needs. Detailed and comprehensive content from Compliance Standards will help you rank higher because it covers the topics thoroughly and will supply knowledge to your current and future customers. Doing so on a permanent and sustained basis will guarantee that your visibility will be enhanced over time, and only then will you be able to turn visitors into actual customers. The next section, as I pointed out earlier, is a discussion we had internally about this topic. If you are curious about Compliance Standards Advanced Marketing Services, don't hesitate to reach out and let us help you. Paul, can you explain to us what Google has done and what were the implications on traffic that you've been monitoring, and what do you consider ought to be done in the future for people that really want to be front and center or see their marketing front and center and successful?
So let's just go way back into like the 90s, early 2000s. Google came out with these updates that they're always trying to bring up content that's going to be most relevant and best quality for their users at the top of the search results. That's what Google's trying to do. And you'd have these black hat marketing techniques. Back in the day, we could create text that's like keyword stuffing, And at the very bottom of the page, the top of the page, or wherever, we could turn the text white so that the viewer wouldn't actually see it, but Google sees it in the code. It's all the same, right? So that was a way early on black hat technique, meaning it's kind of sketchy, but you can get away with it. So that's why people are looking for white hat SEOs. It means we're doing everything by the book, we're doing everything right, which means we're doing what Google wants us to do. And in the end, white hat wins. Black hat is temporary, and you might get some early wins. So let's fast forward to nowadays. Like AI came out, ChatGPT came out. Woohoo! Let's generate all these AI articles, not do anything, and publish them. Well, Google wasn't quite ready for all of this, and yes, you're gonna get some rankings, and boom, everything's gonna go up. But as a lot of people predicted, SEOs predicted, like, don't do that. Just like anytime there's like some sort of black hat technique, it's gonna come crashing down. So in some ways that is, it's a lot more complicated than that, but in some ways that's what happened to a lot of sites. Google's understanding now what is regurgitated content, what content is not unique, and then that's why Google came out with the EEAT: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So the experience and expertise ends of it are in your content, how you write your content. And is it from your point of view? Are those experiences that you've had, or are you bringing content together in a way that hasn't been brought together to have a fresh angle on it? So in some ways, you want, when you're writing an article to go in the SERP, you want the article to be like the other articles that are there, but then have a unique twist. So maybe, for instance, you click on it, you're doing research for an informational query. It could be how to, blah, blah, blah. And then you see everything is how to, how to, how to. Well, maybe another informational twist you could put it in is what is. Maybe somebody wants to know what this is and have a definition on top. So that's a simple a simple example of how you might be able to have a unique twist. Or, what a lot of people have done, let's go back to the kitchen example, is you're looking up for like Caesar salad, and you want to know how to make a Caesar salad. Perhaps that's an opportunity to have 101 best salad recipes. It's a link bait article where it talks about Caesar salads, but it also talks about other different types of salads. And you might be like, oh, maybe I want to make this other type of salad instead. I didn't even consider that. That's cool. If the search intent matches, then there's opportunities for that. So overall, content that seems like it has been created just to rank well. If Google sees that the content has been created for Google, and not better to inform the readers, that's what Google's trying. But in the end, Google's just a machine. It's not a human. So all Google knows is, and the reason you call the robots, the crawlers, spiders in the World Wide Web, all of that means that everything is connected by links. Everything's linked together, and that's how Google sees the internet. And it crawls and it hops from one page to another based on the links that are on that page. So another thing that people are getting hit with is not properly linking their content together in a meaningful topical way. And so that's topical clusters. So we have our pillar page, which is the page where people are going to buy. It's your bottom of the funnel, the page you want everyone to get to, and to become a customer. So you have that page, and what is that topic around that page? Now let's build a whole topical cluster around that, a whole bunch of articles that have these topical authority posts, the how-to posts, the what is posts, all the top of funnel posts. And then we have the transactional posts, which are like best this, best that. Those are posts that have transactional intent. So if someone's searching for that, they're probably looking to buy soon. And they're evaluating. And then you have your link bait posts, which are also informational posts, but are able to get links in. So you have these topical authority posts that are long tail keywords that are probably ranking on Google, the low competition or high competition. Oh, no, sorry, no, low competition, but low search volume. But they're going to rank in Google, which gives you link juice, pushes, and it's all linked to your transactional posts, and they're all interlinked together as relevant. Then you have your link bait posts, which are getting links from outside sources, but they're also linked to all of your articles because 101 salad recipes, it's very, very deep, but each section is very shallow, and then it links to the appropriate content. So you have link juice there. And with all of this linked to your transactional content, then you can get that transactional content to rank. And come up and search. So overall, that structure is what Google's looking for. You want to kind of show Google this is what's important based on what's linked to it.
So for those of you who wonder why we're talking about this, Paul is heading up compliance standards marketing services. And so this is one way of introducing him. But I think sort of the conclusion, you need really two parallel tracks to be able to actually make it in this marketing world, assuming that the bulk of marketing happens in the digital world. I think gone are the days where you would send mailers. Even the print media doesn't exist anymore in that sense. You need, number one, a website and digital platforms that are technically designed to address the needs of Google, primarily Google, although probably other search engines are need to be included in the way you design that website. But Google seems to be the king of search. Therefore, you have to abide by the rules. And that's a technical aspect that we are looking at in terms of how to take an existing website and make it more performant. And so that's number one. Number two is sort of the sustainable consistency that is necessary on the content side, and the uniqueness on the content side that would allow you to bring something that your readers, your website visitors, people that are looking for specific information can trust you and can come back and can stay a little longer or as long as possible into your website, and then that essentially could turn them into future customers. Does that sort of summarize, what this is all about from a marketing perspective, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely. And I also want to mention that there's also a couple different flavors. So overall, so far right now, we've been talking about SEO overall, but it's also national as well as local. And then you also have the Google Business Profile, reviews, and reputation management. So those three are all different things in Google that we would want to focus on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, up until recently, I was much more sort of interested in so-called national, multi-state, international corporations or companies that have a national presence. But in a number of areas that deal with IT asset disposition, the story is local and regional, in a sense that you have to form local relationships to be able to deal with local governments, local public schools, local medium-sized businesses. And so, yes, I agree with you. I think, as tempting as it is to say, well, we're a nationwide company. At the end of the day, you have to have a strategy, a marketing strategy that addresses the needs of your customers at the regional, local level.
That's right. And you can be a national company, but how many locations do you have? You still have local locations, right? So,
Exactly.
And you have the opportunity to come up in search for a particular location with people that are in their area. Google tracks IP addresses. It knows where you are when you're searching for something. And then the Google Map Pack will pop up. So the more of each individual location you have, the more local authority you can have, the more authority you have overall at the national level also. And then even if, let's just say you have one location and you're trying to serve nationwide, well, people know you exist as a company somewhere. Where's your headquarters? When they Google your name, you're going to want that. You're going to want that Google business profile to show up also, and they're going to want to see reviews. And even if you're B2B versus B2C. So let's just say we're shoppers on Amazon, and and we shop based on reviews. And if you're a B2B buyer, you're still a person. That's how people buy. So they're still going to be looking at reviews to be evaluating a business and their reputation.
And so to conclude, then, Paul has joined compliance standards to help our clients, face all these issues in a very intelligent way. We are here to help in terms of content. We have unique content that can be part of a continuous educational informational program that you can leverage as an IT asset disposition company, a company that is involved in data security, in data center decommissioning, you name it. We have data that nobody else in the industry has that focuses on user behavior. We survey over 1,000 US corporations, and any need in terms of improving your marketing performance, don't hesitate to reach out.